All right, let's see what the Gen Z community is up to, shall we? Gen Z is finally giving up.
Mom about the new Superman movie that came out this year. I was telling her how I really enjoyed it and how it made me feel inspired and hopeful about the future. And her response to this was, "Your generation is always trying to feel inspired by something." And well, yeah, we are. It's not just the older people anymore. Even other members of Gen Z are genuinely starting to believe that our generation is hopeless. Or to put it simply, we're cooked, chat. Being a young
What's
adult
wrong
right
with
now
that?
is waking up every day with the entire world telling you that you just aren't good enough. You're too young to lead, you're too lazy to work, and you're too stupid to have an opinion. Since I've started making these videos on my experiences as a Gen Z adult, I've come to realize that one of the biggest issues with our generation is that we've been abandoned by those who came before us. And I'm not here to be another young person blaming old people for all of my problems, but a lot of older people feel no responsibility to leave the door open for us. And honestly, often make it a point to shut it behind them to make it harder for us to get in. There's no follow in my footsteps. It feels more like good luck, loser, as we watch the world price us out of earning anything meaningful in our lives. From the perspective of a Gen Z guy, it's brutal. We're faced with struggles in all directions, from our mental health, to our careers, to dating, and everything in between. While many older men constantly look down upon us and call us weak for it, but they never offer any sort of guidance. And the few that do only seem interested in making the problem even worse. They'll have you walking around looking like a podcaster. Shirt tight, pants even tighter, Chelsea boots on. Here's 10 reasons why you should hate women. Another thing I've noticed
I recall this being a thing in high school and even college for freshmen.
with Gen Z is that a lot of us seem to be lamenting our youth, likely because many of us feel robbed of it. No one feels like they're running out of time more than an 18-year-old with their entire life ahead of them. It feels like you're forever playing catch up in a world that keeps changing the rules. So now there's teenagers and young adults thinking they've already wasted their lives when the only thing they ever did was be a kid doing kid things.
Welcome to Bedwetting Breakthroughs presented by Goodnights, where we have honest conversations about the challenges of bedwetting.
Just a beer, please. Thanks. You seem a bit young to be drinking your sorrows away on a Tuesday night. That's more of an older guy thing. Yeah, well, my life is
AJ?
already over anyway. I've wasted my entire youth doing nothing. How so? I'm already 22 years old. I practically have one foot in the grave already. I knew I should have been investing in stocks and
It's
buying properties when
so
I was
over for
13
you.
instead of playing Xbox and doing homework. Son, you're 22. You haven't wasted your youth. You're still in it. Give me that. You shouldn't be drinking your sorrows away in a dingy bar with an old man like me.
Ha!
You still got your whole life ahead of you. Yeah, I guess you're right. I don't even like beer. How do you guys even drink that stuff? Tastes like life. Better. You get used to it. I can't lie, that was kind of tough. It's too late for me. I'm old and washed up now. You know, before TikTok, back in my day, we had this thing called Vine. Wait, Vine? How old are you? I'm 27. Bruh. Damn, Unc. The world we live in now seems to expect an unrealistic amount of perfection from young people, and it's causing us to carry around constant feelings of inadequacy because we keep falling short of an ever-rising bar. The tide is rising, but the ships are sinking, and it feels like you need to do literally everything right just to have a little success. Just go to college. But looks like you didn't pick the right major at 18 for the job market at 22. Okay, well, just go get an internship. Oh, you were expecting to be paid for your work? Sorry, we don't do that here. All right, just get an entry-level job and work your way up the old-fashioned way. Wait, you don't have 10 years of experience at 22? Get the f out of my face. The goalpost keeps moving further and further back. While some generations only needed to make a layup and others needed a free throw, being Gen Z feels like standing at half court. while the crowd laughs at you for missing that shot. Even the traditional paths don't offer a good chance at success anymore. So it's not a secret why more of our generation is just opting to pursue what they actually care about instead of grinding for nothing. The job market is so bad that following your dreams sounds like the better option. Yo, bro, I appreciate you scooping me after work today.
Yeah, checking out of the system.
Yeah, bro, no problem. I just came back from the studio. Oh, you're still trying to do music? Yeah, bro, I might as well. I can't seem to pin down anything long term for. Wait, bro, do you hear that? Yeah, is that somebody singing? Wow. Why are you screaming? I don't know. I just thought that's what we were doing. Yo, I didn't know you sing. That was really good. Oh, yeah, I do. Sometimes. I don't really tell anybody. My parents say it's kind of pointless since I'll never make any money from it. Who cares? If you have the passion, you never know where it can take you. Yeah, I guess that's true. You know, I make music too. Maybe we could collab sometime. Oh, yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah.
I'll check you out. Yeah,
Follow
I'll send it
your
over right now.
dreams.
Let me know what you think. As someone who has the rare combination of being a content creator who also has a job, it feels like I spent a lot of my time between worlds. And I remember seeing this post that sums it up best. I've tasted unemployment and I've tasted 9 to 5. I recommend not being born. Even the process of looking for a job can be annoying, since you just have to accept the fact that these companies sell your information to scammers who will blow your phone up on a daily basis. But that's only where it begins. Once you start a new job, you quickly realize why the job market is so dysfunctional. Not only do companies not want to hire young people looking for experience, but they don't even want to train them either. So many places are downsizing their human-led training teams and replacing them with cheap AI programs that you have to mindlessly sit through instead. No one to ask follow-up questions to, no one to introduce you to the work environment, just you and a PowerPoint slide being read back to you by an AI. I saw a report that said 66% of hiring managers
AI is
say that
not
new
all that
hires
cheap.
are not fully prepared for their roles due to a lack of experience. Huh. Who could have guessed that replacing real training and professional development with AI isn't very effective at creating competent employees? But what do I know? I'm Gen Z. Everyone thinks I'm stupid. I just think it's a bit counterproductive when companies constantly have to spend time retraining everyone every few weeks. Good morning, team. We've noticed some gaps in our employee training, so we're rolling out a new AI training module that you'll need to complete by the end of the day. Will this training address any of our concerns that we've been bringing to you for weeks? That's a great question. No. It'll just reteach what you already know while also making it even more confusing. Doesn't this sound like a big waste of time and resources? You know, that's a really good point. But we spent all of the money we could have used to train and pay you better on this new AI system that only makes your job harder. This seems like really poor decision making. Let's put a pin in that for now. We're gonna give you guys 5 minutes back to get a head start on that training, and we'll touch base at the end of the day. The game keeps changing for us, and you aren't even rewarded for your hard work anymore. Life has always been unfair at times, but at this point, it feels like it's cheating. At one job I had, it was so annoying coming in every morning to see an encouraging morning message from my manager that was obviously written by ChatGPT. Like, you can't even find it within your real human heart to say something nice to us in the morning.
Of course it's
You have
hard.
to resort to
Nothing
AI
is easy
for that
anymore.
too. I think it's a bit stressful to watch AI gradually infiltrate every part of our lives. You know it's bad when Gen Z, the online generation, starts complaining about too much technology. So many people were worried about Gen Z abusing AI to cheat their way through college. But what's even worse is that there are already doctors, CEOs, and governments admitting to using AI to make decisions that could potentially ruin your life. Cheating in school is wrong, but Gen Z isn't the first generation to cheat on a test. ChatGPT telling your doctor that you're lactose intolerant when you have a heart.
And these rich trading firms? Ha ha ha. All use AI bots.
heart condition, I think is much worse. Old people love AI. They have no issue sitting in front of a screen, looking at AI generated content, ironing out the creases in their brain in real time. Our generation knows better, but we still have our issues with AI too. There are people genuinely, that's high key plus genuinely, using LLMs like ChatGPT and Grok as a therapist. And it's pretty easy to tweak your prompts over and over until it just starts agreeing with everything you say. And I think this is already starting to put a strain on some of our ability to maintain relationships. Okay, so low-key plus genuinely, low-genuinely, okay? Now, low-key plus
AI
genuinely
can
plus
be
full
manipulated.
stop, low-genuinely. Now let's add some 6, 7, and some div. What do you want? Listen, I know I cheated on you, but I've been doing some reflecting. So I've come over here for an apology. Okay. All right, go ahead. Apologize to me. What? Why would I apologize to you? Well, I asked ChatGPT, and it said that it's actually your fault that I cheated because you didn't love me enough. So are you going to say sorry or what? I knew she was toxic.
Oh,
Sometimes
brother.
it feels like the entire world is falling apart right in front of you and you're completely powerless to change it. Nothing you do matters. No matter how hard you work, how much you vote, or how hard you try. The rich will only get richer while we argue and fight over what's left. As an American YouTuber, obviously, I can only comment from my
Richie
perspective.
Rich.
But thanks to you guys watching my videos all around the world, I've learned that despite our experiences, all of us feel a need to just get away from it sometimes. Obviously, being the generation born into the digital era, interacting with the internet and online spaces is second nature to most of Gen Z. And it offers a new outlet for building community where older, more traditional ways have faded. Sometimes my mom asks me, why don't you and your friends ever go to the mall? Like, the mall? Have you seen a mall lately? There's malls around here where the only thing still open is the food court. Sadly, a lot of large community spaces are dying. And Gen Z
Malls
doesn't really like to
are
drink,
dead.
so bars are also not a very popular choice either. And I live in Atlanta. Every place here is basically a nightclub. Like, why are we smoking hookah in the seafood restaurant? And the waiter can't even hear my order because the music is too loud. Meanwhile, since we were kids, the internet has always been an easy way to socialize and build community. Even if kids at school weren't interested in the same things you were, there were probably people online you could talk to about it. And for most of our generation, I don't think we're running away to digital worlds to avoid facing reality. You're just going to where the people are. And in 2026, everyone's online, even when it comes to dating in our generation. I think one of the earliest signs things are going well with someone is when you're having 3 different conversations on 3
pretty
different
much.
apps with the same person.
We're potty training. He's got pull-ups training pants. They work just like undies.
The internet makes finding community convenient, whether it be centered around music, video games, anime, sports, or whatever. We're at a point where people are launching music careers on VR chat, and I'll never knock it. I make videos talking to myself with anime PNGs. And even if you're engaging in these activities alone, everyone has something that they enjoy that takes them to a different place. Life can really beat you down sometimes. And over time, you might start to feel like a shell of your former self. I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting to lose yourself in something just to find the real you, especially with how our favorite things are constantly under attack from outside interests and AI slop. It's probably more important now than ever to find ways to connect with things on a human level. It's why I can understand wanting to defend your community against trespassers. But at the same time, like everything in life, the good comes
Hey
with the
now,
bad. And I can't
Al
act
is
like
not
there
all
aren't
slop.
issues in our relationship with our interests either. Sometimes escapism does go too far. Community is important, and it can even be found in online spaces. But people will defend their communities to the point that they lose touch with reality. The internet has always been a toxic place, but it seems like in recent years, people have come to embrace that toxicity. I've noticed a growing number of people who believe that we should start gatekeeping our communities from tourists. And to be honest with you, I find this idea not only counterproductive, but also pointless. There's a certain type of person who feels entitled to things like anime and video games simply because they enjoy them. And I often hear from these people that they don't like having their hobbies criticized by outsiders. So they feel the need to gatekeep, as if they have some sort of ownership over the entire community. And if you're one of those people, I ask you, who stands at the gate? Who decides who has a right to participate in something everyone has access to? The people who've been there longer? Does that give someone who's been there longer than you the right to remove you from the community as well? Should it be the bigger content creators and influencers in the space? And we let popularity
Yeah, where do you draw the line, guys?
determine who belongs? In a generation struggling to find community already, why should we find reasons to exclude each other from something we both enjoy? A lot of times the outsiders aren't even outsiders, just fans with a different point of view. I think gatekeeping is pointless because you can already see that people aren't using it to protect what they love, and instead they're using it to exclude people they dislike. It's a hobby, not your personal fantasy land where you make all the rules. In any community, we have a responsibility to be mature, honest, and fair to each other. We're all human and we're all different, so we'll all engage with the same thing in different ways. That's what community is for. If you like something for a particular reason, that's fine, but it's not right to prevent others from participating simply because they view it differently. Part of appreciating art is also critiquing it, and by listening to others, you may find new ways to appreciate something you love.
He has a point
Bro,
there.
I can't wait to try pickleball. I've never played before. Yeah, bro, it's gonna be fun, trust. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yo, dude, get out of the way. You're blocking the entrance. Yeah, what are you doing? I'm gatekeeping. You're gatekeeping pickleball? How are you gonna gatekeep something open for everybody? I've been in the pickleball community for years, but now that it's popular, suddenly everyone wants to play pickleball now. Yeah, that's usually how it works. When things become more popular, more people become interested in them. Yeah, and I'm sick of all these tourists showing up to my pickleball court and ruining it for everyone. Well, it looks like everyone else is having a good time. Do you even play pickleball? Or do you just stand out here all day trying to gatekeep? Everyone wants to play pickleball now because it's cool, but you guys never got bullied for liking pickleball in high school like I did. Well, I'm sorry that happened to you, but that doesn't give you the right to give other people who have nothing to do with that a hard time. I'm just sick of all these people coming in here and trying to change things. It was nice before all of these people showed up. Now I can't enjoy pickleball the way I want to. Well, we might be willing to try things your way, but you're trying to kick us out. Yeah, you're unfairly judging us and we haven't even done anything. Hey, a court just opened up in the back. You guys want to play with us? Sure. Yeah, I'm down. Online, we take everything super seriously, to the point where we're unable to separate fiction from reality, and we end up taking things meant to be satirical or parody, you know, a joke, as genuine commentary. But at the same time, we don't take things that actually are serious enough. On the internet, everything becomes drama, but there's a difference between petty drama and real harm being done. You see it all the time when a woman on the internet says, "Hey, I feel unsafe." And people are quick to hate, saying they're being dramatic or making things about them. But when something bad actually does happen, everyone wants to pretend like they always cared. To me, that's like smelling gas in the kitchen and ignoring it, but then you only take it seriously after the house has already burned down. When I was a lifeguard, we had a saying, "Good guards don't get wet," meaning that the best lifeguards are the ones who stay dry, since you're able to prevent an emergency from happening in the first place. There are a lot of conversations in our communities that are pushed aside because people don't want to talk about them. And when it gets to a point when we can no longer ignore it, people want to act surprised as if the elephant hasn't been in the room the entire time. I think we're better when we listen to people the first time instead of picking up the pieces after the damage has been done.
Yeah, it is
Despite
always
the flaws
after the
with our
fact.
generation, as we get older, Gen Z at least wants to make the world a better place. Recently, there was a special election where I live, and my friends and I went to go vote. And when I walked into the polling location, I saw a bunch of other young people casting their votes too. So when I look around, it's hard for me to believe that our generation is as cooked as we think we are. When I watched that Superman
make a
movie, I
difference.
felt a sense of hope. When you're Gen Z, it's easy to feel powerless. Sometimes it genuinely does feel like the world is ending and all you can do is watch. I wish Superman was real, because it just feels like nothing we do matters. We just have to pick up
Me
and
too.
keep going as everything just gets worse. We can try really hard to make the world a better place on an individual level, but unfortunately, none of us are Superman.
Find a Planet Fitness near you for $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends January 30th.
Ooh, I need to come clean. I don't remember algebra.
Superman is all of us. Nobody is coming to save us. So it's on us to look out for each other, reach out and reach back to help. The people who will lead this generation are those who are able to see the bigger picture. I'm not here to speak for us. Gen Z voices need to be heard. Mine is just one of many around the world. But I'm never gonna sacrifice my authenticity for the sake of being neutral.
Yeah,
Just like
be
you,
heard.
I have fears, I have biases, but most importantly, I have hope. The message was never about right or left, or even the top versus the bottom.
I
It's
am
us
Superman.
against ourselves. I don't care if you don't always agree with my perspective. At least you know that when you tell me that, you're talking to someone who's actually listening. Because there are too many conversations being had about Gen Z that don't include Gen Z. There are people trying to write their story over yours. Don't let them close your chapter for you. The future is running away from us, but it's not too late to catch it. People will judge you with their words, but it's your actions that define who you are. You are not weak. You're stronger than you even know. It shows every single day you decide to get up and keep going, even when you don't have a reason to. For many, the idea of a hero is someone with the strength to never lose. But for others,
Fight
a hero
the
is someone
power.
with the strength to get back up, no matter how many times he does. I think there's a reason our generation identifies more with the latter. We don't need heroes. We are the heroes. The future doesn't exist without you. You are the catalyst for change in this world. That's why you have to live. If one man can have the power to change the world, imagine what an entire generation can do with enough time. The heroes we dream of are the ones who are most like us. Are we really just running from reality? Or is it a desire to become something greater than what we are now? Because we want to believe that to someone out there, our lives mean something. If I plant a tree today, I may never be able to sit under its shade. But that doesn't mean that watering it every day isn't still important. Our choices matter. Our actions matter. You
Good point.
matter. We don't have to be perfect. We just have to be better. Give us the opportunity to show you that we are here for a reason, even if we don't know it yet. Please, watch us. For as long as we have hope, we will succeed. Thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter and Twitch if you want to hear me talk about more Gen Z stuff. And thanks for 80K. Peace.
Good video, guys. Don't give up, Gen Z.